Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. Your heart fit to be. Being a pirate is alright to be. Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. An urban pirate.
Yeah.
No? Okay.
This game is like Sim Urban Pirate or Sim City Pirate. I think that's the best way to describe this game. There's so many stats.
Each level, it changes up how you play the game. So one level you're just basically just squatting and shoplifting, but then the next you're running from the cops.
It's a pretty controversial game, and I remember it being promoted, like it's been a while, but I don't think it ever, from my understanding, ever really caught on. Like it sort of, I saw it advertised, then I never heard of it again. And considering the topic and like it's sort of describing a lifestyle like sim moochers, sim freeloader. I don't know.
Sim pirate. Like
sim
you're
pirate.
an urban pirate, or
Yeah.
but what we would probably know better as someone who decides to just reject themselves from society and decide to just hang out in urban society, squatting, making money, buying weed, beating up cops.
Beating up cops?
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
the very last level before we stopped recording, you had the ability to fight back the cops when they were evicting the squatting.
Wow. I don't know, it's such a controversial topic, and I really wanted to choose the game at the time because I thought, hey, this is not something you usually
See every day.
you don't really, it's not really discussed. It's sort of, I don't know if it's really a taboo topic.
Especially not nowadays. Now that Steam has basically opened the floodgates, we're now seeing more controversial games like
Samito 2K18.
Yeah.
I think as a game, at first, it's interesting because this game, it feels like there's nothing, to me, it felt like there was nothing to do, and then it's sort of, you have to dedicate, I think that's for me, the selling point. You have to dedicate the time to see this game sort of grow, like
Blossom out.
Yeah, and when you first play this game, and if you only give like 5 minutes of your time to this game, and you'll be like, this game's stupid, I'm gonna stop. But this is one of those games that I think you really have to get to mission 5 or so, and then you start to see
just how good it is.
It's, I don't know, I liked it. I think it's really a specialized game, like a special interest game that you have to, because at first the game starts off where you're doing a cycle, like you're going shopping, and you then go back and then you have nothing else to do, but then you gradually grow your reputation in the game, and I've heard it gets even more complicated in time, so maybe if you got to like the later missions, if there's like a mission 20, the game gets more complicated, it gets more interesting, but you have to put in the time to get to that point.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's a game probably not for a lot of people. It's like a really niche, that's the word I was looking for, a niche game.
It's a really weird game to play if you're like it, well, I wouldn't say weird, but like its sort of mechanic is a major factor. Like, there are games that basically throw you into the game, everything's unlocked, and you have to discover it for yourself. Like
we have Smash Ultimate.
Yeah, and then there are games that slowly introduce new gameplay mechanics. And I kind of like both styles because when you have everything accessed, you can just experiment.
It's a very unique game experience. There's not, I can safely say there's nothing like this. So you're either going to like develop a praise or I can't think of the right word, but you're either going to start to like it, I guess,
or you're going to start
you'll just be like, yeah, I can play something else.
But personally for me, I love the way this is paced out. Like, you just want to see how you can...
There's definitely a progression system here at play, and to play the game properly, I think you have to put in the time, but if you're not going to put the time to get to that and see the game unravel, I think you're going to give it like a 4 out of 10, I think, or a 2 out of 10.
But if you put in some hard dedication and you realize that you're an IGN critic, you realize that you can't just rate anything below a 7.
I give it, like, as a game, I thought it was interesting. I'm not sure how much fun I really had. I saw you play it, but I have an idea of, like, how it played. I'd give it probably a 7 out of 10 from the time we spent. We spent, what, half an hour playing it? Well, I was watching you playing, but it kind of looks like the skiing video game when you're trying to escape from the shopping mall. And then the rest of the game, there's like a lot of cycles, like going to the shopping mall back, and going campsite back. That's what I found, like, sort of the game. The game itself. So I don't know. It's you either love the game or you don't, and like if you don't like the fact that you're going back and forth and like you're on the same screen and then it changes.
Yeah. If you don't like a game that slowly changes its mechanics over time, you just want to get right into the meat of things, this isn't a game for you.
It's not instantaneous. It's not instant gratification game.
Yeah.
Stretch of imagination.
But at least it's not like, you know, a game that thrusts you into like seven pages
I
of
assume
story.
this is like Grand Theft Auto, like more realistic Grand Theft Auto, but as if you were trying to like rise to the ranks of like a gang system.
I thought it was going to be more like a, you know, Drug Lord?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that, especially when you're buying weed.
Yeah,
but
they didn't go into that aspect so much. It was more like a statistical, not analysis, but like...
Yeah, well actually the weed does come into play. When you smoke it, your sanity goes up a little bit, but because it's weed, you get a case of the munchies and your hunger goes down, so it's a case of balancing the two out.
Yeah, everything sort of in this game sort of balances out, and
as you try to survive for X
like
number of days.
Cars and like you said, squatting and police kicking you out, and
you kicking the police out.
Yeah, well that's the stage you got to. I think it's a really interesting concept game. It's just because it's like a niche concept game. It's harder for I think most people to get into, and for me, it wasn't really. It seemed like kind of slow moving to get to the point where you have momentum. But I still see what they were trying to do, and I still think it's a very. There's not a game quite like this that I've ever played. And out of like thousands of games, this one definitely stands out in that sense after you've played it. Yeah, I just don't know if it gets that much more complicated than that.
Who knows?
You have to play a lot more.
You're gonna have to play it. Until then, keep on gaming.
So you gave a rating of 7? I'm just.
Oh no, I'm giving this a rating of 9. This is a good game.
Okay.
7.
You didn't say that. That's why.
I was making a joke because if you've noticed a lot of IGN reviews, they never rate it below 7. Especially if it's a AAA game. No matter how disappointing it is, they'll never rate it below 7 because they got paid to review it.
Alright. Keep on gaming, and Nick is a pirate.
Yarr, fiddle bee.
Nick is an urban pirate. Not really. Just to protect Nick. Bye.